Hello and welcome to Stampin' by Hannah. Today I have this card for you using the stamp thumping technique. For this technique you will need 3 Stampin' Write markers. On the original card I've used Melon Mambo, Rose Red and Rich Razzleberry, but I'm going to do a neutral version today, so I have got Soft Suede, if you can see that at all, Crumb Cake and Early Espresso. I've also got a Sahara Sand ink pad and the Petal Potpourri stamp set and Flower Medallion Punch, which are currently in a bundle for 15% off when you buy them together, but that's going to end on the 2nd of June. So if you want them both, get them now while they're on offer. Simple as that. You have been warned. I have also got a piece of Early Espresso cardstock, which is a piece of A4 cut in half, and I'm going to fold it in half to form our card base. And I have then got a piece of Whisper White that I have already embossed using the Decorative Dots embossing folder. We're going to stamp first in Sahara Sand, and we've got 2 stamps to use today. There's the very solid one and the sort of brush stroke one, which I really like, and they look lovely together. So I'm going to just grab my block, and I have a bit of a top tip for this stamp because it's such a solid area. I really struggled, and I actually made a very similar card, this one, with some brand new stampers at a stamp class a couple of months ago, and they really struggled to get solid stamping with this stamp. So I'm going to use my Stampin' Pierce mat. Even though it's got some this stamp's got cushioning on it because it is a red rubber stamp, I found that I needed a bit more with this one. I would suggest that you try it out and see how you go. I'm going to ink my stamp up in Sahara Sand, and I'm going to stamp it down so that one of the large petals is at the bottom, so it's easy to punch out because then it'll line up with my punch. And I'm going to mount the other stamp today. I've already lost my brain. It's already fallen out of my head somewhere. And we're going to ink this stamp up using the brush tips of our markers. I start with the lightest colour first. I start with Crumb Cake, and I've got the brush tip, and we're going to hold the pen just by the end quite loosely, and you're going to thump, hence the name of this technique, the pen onto the surface of the stamp. This also works really well with Lovely as a Tree and the Sheltering Tree stamp set, where you've got kind of leaves. This looks really lovely. So once we've thumped that one a few times, I'm going to rotate my stamp, and I'm going to take my Soft Suede marker, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing, holding the pen really lightly and just bouncing it off the side of the pen, off of the red rubber. You don't want to do it that way because you're going to damage the end of your marker pen. You do it from the side, just the same as you would if you were going to colour the stamp directly. If you were going to colour it, you'd colour it with the side of the brush tip. I'm going to rotate it round again, and I've got my Early Espresso marker this time, and I'm going to thump that one as well. Probably going to put less Early Espresso on actually than the other two because it's such a dark colour. And I've then got my trusty water spritzer, and I'm just going to mist over this stamp very carefully, moving all the other cardstock out of the way. And just, you can see where the water hits that ink and it just starts to pool and move it around a bit. And I'm going to stamp this one again with the large petal at the bottom. Hold it there for a second just to let that ink do its job, and then come up. And can you see how it's gone all pink? I don't think I've cleaned my stamp properly from the last time I did this, but never mind. I quite like it actually. It's a bit zebra printy, isn't it? So I am going to punch both flowers out. And with this one, we're going to chop it in half between a large petal and a small petal. We're going to chop all the way up. Let's chop it in half, and then we're going to cut down all the other lines on one half so that we have two completely separate large petals. And I think we're then ready to stick our card together. So, because this is an embossed piece, I'm going to use some fast fuse just to make sure that I've got plenty of stick. Oh, didn't flip then. We're going to just pop that onto there. And then I've got a dimensional to go on the back of the flower. And then a little bit more fast fuse for the back of each of these large petals. I'm just going to tuck them in underneath. And there we have 2 cards using the stamp thumping technique. All the details, all the product links are in the coordinating blog post. The link is in the down bar below. Go across to Facebook and like my Facebook page for all updates from me. And I shall see you again next time. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.